truly cared about us, you'd have been back here a long time ago.
All right, guys, we're going to talk about this current heel turn of the New Day that was late last year. We're going to show everybody why the New Day sucks. Don't miss out on it. We're going to turn more into it into the red carpet reign. Let's get into it.
If you come at the king, you best not miss.
Acknowledge us.
Hey, guys, we're here at the red carpet reign. We will talk about why the New Day heel turn has been horrible. You guys get the license as we come into the ring. We gonna talk more about it because this heel turn has been a complete failure. And I'll explain why in just a moment. This started. All right, we're gonna talk about the New Day. Um, we're gonna talk about why the New Day heel persona has been a huge failure. Now, when these two first went heel, we thought it was gonna go somewhere. On the episode of Monday Night Raw, we thought it was really going somewhere. We know that it seemed like Kofi and Xavier, they started out with these two going at each other's heads. We know that was the case there. But we knew that one of these two was going to turn on one another. We do remember that too. And when that did happen, you know, we thought more likely it would have been Xavier Woods to turn on Kofi. That's where it was the direction it was going into. But it ended up turning into both these men going heel with each other. Now, I believe that WWE, they have definitely changed the whole landscape of that. And I want to say that when they did do that, we really thought it was going to go somewhere. Really thought it was going to go somewhere, but it did not. It didn't go anywhere. I thought it would be definitely for the better, but it turned out it wasn't. And the thing about it is, I know Triple H has spoken about how storylines sometimes may go left and it may not make sense, but this is one that definitely is not doing anything. And I know it was a lot of deciding factors. Um, I thought, at least we thought, maybe if not all of us, but at least most of us, we thought that when they had the segment with Big E We thought that Big E, was set to come back. We haven't seen Big E on TV in over 2.5 years. So we thought that it was going to set up a comeback, a good storyline, but it turned out that's not the case now. That none of that has happened. So I think Big E coming in was a desperate move because remember before Big E, it was Odyssey Jones. He was supposed to replace Big E, be the third member, and it seemed like Kofi was down with it, but Xavier wasn't. Lead to the heel turn. But once Odyssey Jones got released, that shifted things. They had to call an audible on the storyline. And when they got Big E to come out, they talked to him and they used him to put these men over as heel. It really did not do anything. It seemed to work out at first, but like I said, I know it was a little audible there. It's not the initial plan, but I thought they would capitalize off this and make it work anyway because WWE Creative does do well for these things when it does become an audible of a storyline. But I have to be honest, it has not done anything. That stuff has been a big failure. They had Big E come out of nowhere. He has been seen in God knows how long. And they used him to put the New Day over. And it didn't do anything for these men. Nothing. And I have to say, they have not done nothing since their heel turn. New Day has done nothing at all. I mean, we think about it, it's the same old thing. It's mostly redundant segments, no major storyline, and not even a title hunt until now. I mean, we get that they had the heat, the crowd was booing them, but nothing big has happened. Nothing big has happened with these men, and it sucks because it should have been New Day deserved better. So I don't understand why, but it's just a huge fail. And I'm not happy with it. I'm not happy with it at all. And like I normally do, like I do with my what went wrong, this definitely go on the list like no other.
What's gonna happen? No, 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 no. Words? No. You just made the list.
They definitely went on the list. Not because of them, because of the booking. And I just don't get that. It's nothing that's working for these men. Nothing has worked. It's been a big fail for these guys. And we see that. We understand that they have the heat. The crowd does not like them, but they have not capitalized off that. That's all we saw for most of the part since they turned heel.
They're completely drowned out by the crowd. The New Day sucks.
We get the New Day sucks, New Day sucks, New Day sucks. No one was on their side. The whole locker room's completely against them. They had a couple matches against LWO and all that, but what has it done for them since then? And it's getting me to the point with New Day when it comes down to it. They need to just cut through the BS. They need to just make New Day. If they're not gonna do nothing with New Day, if nothing major is gonna happen with them, they just need to turn back to babyface at this point. And history repeats itself. We kind of saw this before. You know, um, we saw this before a long time ago. We really did, and it sucks because we really thought this was gonna, take off because we know New Day were known for being long time baby faces. Now, like I said before, when they did initially have their whole they debut and everything, they were known. They got booed at first. If people don't remember New Day back 10 years ago, because when they first came out with the New Day, this stable, is because all three men were Xavier recruited Biggie and Kofi was losing, was not doing well, and they formed this group, this stable. I mean, and they were booed with. It was just three of them in the blue. This is the old New Day. They don't even wear the blue like this no more. None of it. And now it's Big E. Since he's been injured, it's just been New Days need to end. And I think, like I said, they took too long to make these guys heal. And if they were going to be healed, it should have been just one or the other, preferably Xavier Woods, because he never really had a solo run. And I'm not talking about when he won King of the Ring years ago, because it was a joke. King of the Ring's nothing like it was today compared to when he won it back, I think 2019. But it's just terrible. So New Day, it's been a failure. And people on social media are saying it too. They said that their hero's been underwhelming. And I gotta agree with that. That's an undisputed comment.
And that is undisputed.
So it's very true. The heel run has been underwhelming. It's not produced anything. Hasn't helped Kofi or Xavier. It has not done anything for the characters or anything. So this just sucks. I really wish they could have just done better as a whole, but unfortunately they haven't. But other than that, though, I don't have nothing else regarding the situation. You guys let me know. Has the New Day heel run been a success or a failure? And I think it's been a huge fail, you know. Now, we know that the New Day has not been the most liked in the locker room backstage. They pretty much been shunned by everybody from Rey Mysterio to even his son, Dominic Mysterio, who was not fond of what the New Day did with Big E. They thought it was messed up. But like I said, there was no particular major storyline. Now, I understand as of recent that the New Day did win a tag team match against the New Cash Republic on Monday Night Raw on its recent episode. And with that being said, it got a good win for the New Day. You know, they finally got some momentum because we knew they had no momentum for the longest, for as long as I can know. It's ever since they turned heel. Now, with that momentum that they have gained back, or gained since they heel turn, they are now in line to be competing for the WWE World Tag Team Championships against the current World Tag Team Champions, the War Raiders. And more likely, I could see them having a match against them at WrestleMania. Now, could it be just a regular match? Could it be a triple threat tag team match or a four-way tag team match or a ladder match? Whatever the stipulation is. But at the end of the day, after this whole thing is done, compete for the tag team belts, we need to at least see the New Day being your brand new WWE World Tag Team Champions. Not that stupid dancing crap they do when they say the new tag team, that's over with. Let them at least get some kind of momentum and win the tag team belts and let's solidify their heel turn, because I'm still waiting for this big, huge payoff of the New Day turning heel. They need that payoff, and there's nowhere near close to that. Hopefully, this will lead to that. But I will say, with this whole heel turn, it's completely botched. I don't believe that this is the way it was originally supposed to go. We could talk about the, Big E, whether we know he's ever going to be cleared. We could talk about Odyssey Jones, who they did run with for a while as Big E replacement, because what led to his release, and they had to call audible on that. Whatever you want to call it, it's just New Day, out of all the people in WWE, has turned heel in the company, from Naomi to John Cena. In this group here, New Day have been at the absolute, and I mean absolute worst of the heel turn. To be longtime heroes, baby faces, and to turn to a heel now, it has been complete lackluster. Hopefully they get it together. If not, just make them back babyface again. That's all it comes down to, and I hope they get something right. But that's all I have for why the New Day heel turn has been horrible, and we have talked about today why the New Day sucks, because they do suck. And I ain't gonna say no more. I ain't gonna say it again. But other than that, though, guys, let me know as a whole, what do you think of this whole thing with the New Day? Glad to hear it. Comment below. Until then, you already know what it is. It's OUT.